Hey y'all, it's Missniecytv and I'm here to do a review for Sistas Season 7, Episode 9. The episode starts off with Karen coming to tell Zach that she's having twins, and she's like, I think you need to double the child support. You don't even know if those twins are his. Zach's reaction to this news is absolutely outrageous. Like, why is he doing the absolute most for babies with the woman that he's not even with? He starts giving Karen suggestions about possible baby names, and he's like, Karen, I shut the club up twice. I'm like, even Karen had to tell him that he was doing the absolute most, so you know that says a lot for this situation. Zach is so excited about this news that he gives Karen a hug, and as they're hugging, Fatima walks in and she's like, what's all this excitement about? Zach is like, you won't believe it, but I'm having twins. And he's like, Karen, show her the ultrasound, show her the ultrasound. So she hands Fatima the ultrasound, and Fatima's looking like, wow. Fatima's looking like, this can't be my life and this can't be happening to me. And as she's looking at the ultrasound, Zach keeps asking her, is she okay? No, Zach, she just found out that you're possibly having twins with a woman that's your ex and drives all crazy. Plus, she's helping you raise your other child who you just got full custody of. Karen steps away from the conversation with Zach and Fatima to call her mom and let her know that she needs to talk to her niece about the babies and to meet her at the salon. Karen leaves and it's just Zach and Fatima, and Zach keeps asking Fatima, is she okay? And she's like, hey, I just gotta get back to work. He tries to give Fatima a kiss, but she dodges. I'm like, Zach, can't you read the room and tell Fatima's not in the mood to get a kiss right now? Zach, you research anything else. Research how to read a room. Over at Sabrina calls Rich to plan a double date with him and Danny and Tony. Over at the law firm, Andy gets a call from Karen to let her know that she needs her to come by the house so she could give her some news. Andy tells Karen that she has a meeting, and turns out the meeting is with Penelope, because as she's on the phone with Karen, the receptionist calls Andy and she's like, there's a Penelope here to see you. Andy's like, how you doing? Penelope's like, I'm scared for me and my child. Andy's like, well, what I'm about to tell you, I need you to take it very seriously for the safety of you and your child. He's like, I need you to get as far away from Gary as you can. Penelope's like, why? What's going on? Andy tells Penelope, I had a friend look into Gary, and there's some things that he found that you don't know about. He lets Penelope know that when Gary was in high school, he had a high school sweetheart by the name of Kimberly Porter. And on their prom night, she went missing. Kimberly and Gary went to the prom together, but nobody seen Kimberly leave. Apparently, they got in an argument because Kimberly was drinking too much. So nobody has heard or seen of Kimberly since the night of the prom, and they tried to arrest Gary for it, but they didn't have enough evidence. Penelope's like, I just don't understand how this man has tricked all of us, how you fell for it and how I fell for it. And he's like, Gary is evil, he's a devil, and the devil's very cunning, and he knows how to turn on his charm and get what he wants. She's like, the saddest part about it is that Gary lies so much that you believe his own lie. And he's like, there is more stuff that I have to tell you. Over in Gary's office, Miss Willis comes in to have a meeting with him, and she's like, are you just gonna sit there when a lady comes in the room? She's like, my name is Marie now, it's no longer Miss Willis. Marie is like, I guess after you pay the rent, there's not enough money to pay for a cleaning crew. Gary's like, my apologies, my cleaning lady is actually ill. Marie is like, you're full of it. Now tell me why you actually called me down. Gary's like, besides the fact that I'm trying to get you to invest. Marie is like, do you actually think I'm gonna invest in you after you decimated the other funds? Gary's like, that wasn't my fault, it was actually the market. Marie is like, well, you actually did very well, apparently. Gary's like, the Archer family was well aware of the risk. Marie is like, what they weren't aware of is that you were the biggest risk of all. Gary's like, I actually called you down here because I heard that you were going through a divorce and you're considering Andy Barnes for counsel. Gary's like, I just want to warn you. And Marie is like, why is the fact that I'm considering Andy Barnes for counsel any of your business? Gary goes on to say that Andy's not suitable because she's not trustworthy and that she sleeps with the partners at the firm. And I met her because she seduced me while she was representing my ex-wife. And Gary's like, I don't know if you know, but she's in the middle of an FBI investigation. And Miss Willis is in there like, Marie is like, you know me long enough to know that I do my research, and I found out that you're the one that's actually leading the FBI investigation, and you're the one that came on to Andy. Marie is like, I also know that you bought Andy the penthouse and the Rolls Royce, and all I can say is that Miss Barnes must be putting it down in the bedroom. When I tell y'all, Miss Willis read Gary down, she read that man down. She's like, I know the type of person you are, and you're just bitter. She's like, and you think by telling me that Andy's all this and all that is gonna make me not work with her? It's gonna make me work with her more. He's like, oh, her and that councilman Jordan are doing very well together. Gary's like, he's not councilman yet, and as Marie gets up to leave, she's like, Gary, you're a narcissistic fish in a small pond. I suggest you swim along before you get hurt. Over at the salon, Pam is promoting on Instagram, and she comes out this supply closet, and Karen's like, I hope you weren't in this supply closet showing them my stuff. Pam is like, I was in the supply closet, but I wasn't showing them your stuff. I was showing them my stash of the roots to riches. Karen's like, did I tell you could store your stuff there? And Pam is like, technically you did. You just told me to put my stuff anywhere. Pam is like, enough about me though. Your mom is here. She's like, hey, Miss Lisa, did you enjoy the roots to riches custard I gave you? Miss Lisa's like, yes, I did. I actually need another bottle. Pam was like, can you talk to your daughter? She's hitting on my entrepreneur skills. Karen and her mom have a sit down in her office, and she's like, Mom, I'm having twins. She's like, twins? That's great. Karen's like, me and Zach are happy. Miss Lisa's like, so they found out that he was the father? Karen's like, no, I just know he is. I'm like, Karen, why didn't you tell your mom that the twins are in 2 different sacks? He needs 2 different men tested. Out of all people that I thought you would tell the 100% truth to, I thought it would be your mom. The only thing she told about the twins is that one was hiding behind them. Over at Maurice's getting ready for his date with Grayson, because him and Grayson have a date tonight, and he's going to bring over wine, and they start talking about the date and how it's going to go. Back at the law firm, Andy and Penelope are still talking, and Penelope is like, I can't believe all this is happening and all this is going on. Andy's like, I have a plan that can get Gary out of our lives for good. All you gotta do is have no contact with Gary. I actually have a friend that can help you. Andy tells Penelope to go home and pack her things bit by bit. And I'm like, Andy, who's his friend that's gonna help you out? And as they're talking, Gary calls Penelope's phone. And Andy's looking at Penelope like, don't answer. Then we see Gary over there stressing out on the phone, calling Penelope. He's like, where are you, B? Gary's stressing out because he knows that Penelope possibly has information that could get him into more trouble. Over at Karen's house, the girls finally come over, and Karen's like, I have some news to share with y'all. They're like, I know, that's why we're here. Danny's like, I know what it is. Zach is not the daddy. Karen's like, no, I'm actually having twins. Once again, if you didn't want to tell your mom the truth, why didn't you tell your girls the truth that the twins are in separate sacks and Aaron and Zach need to be tested? The girls are really happy for her, though, talking about they're going to be double aunties, and Danny's like, who's the father? Karen's like, the DNA test results didn't come in. Over at Zach and Fatima, Zach is on his computer looking at baby stuff, and Fatima comes downstairs trying to talk to him, and Zach is trying to show her the baby stuff, but Fatima's not interested. Fatima tries to talk to Zach about the twins, and she's like, have you figured out how we're going to handle all this? We went from 1 kid to possibly 3, and Michael has special needs, plus I'm in law school. Zach is like, you're worried about nothing. So Fatima's like, I need a minute, and she walks away, and Zach is like, so we're back to walking away from our problem? No, Zach, she's walking away because you're not being considerate of her feelings once again. Over at Maurice got Grayson some food for the date, and the whole premise of the date is Grayson asking Maurice to create his fixation page, and Maurice is like, I'm not doing that. Maurice is like, I'm not doing that because this is what I do to survive. Maurice is like, I only started doing it so I could get some money after I got fired from my job. I'm actually hoping that my friend gets her job back as branch manager so that she can hire me so I can do something more legal. Grayson's like, well, I don't want the person I'm with to be doing stuff like that to the public. Grayson's like, I was just thinking about it long term, and I'm like, Grayson, isn't this how you met Maurice on the fixation page? Maurice is like, I'm not for the streets, I just do what I gotta do to survive. And Grayson's like, I was just thinking long term. Maurice is like, well, I have 6 months saved up, so whatever happens after that, I can stop. Over at the Agave restaurant, Danny's there to meet up with Sabrina and Rich for their double date with Tony and her, right? Fatima sits down with Danny while Danny is waiting on the rest of them. So they have a conversation, and Danny tells Fatima, I don't know how you do it with Zach and all them kids. Danny tells Fatima about the Tony situation and how Tony's kids walked in on her and Tony trying to get busy at the airport. She also tells Fatima that Tony's had asked her if her breasts were real. Fatima's like, have you talked to Karish about it? And Danny's like, yeah, I'm working through it. Danny's like, I heard that Karen's having twins, and Fatima's like, yeah, I know, but we're not for sure yet. Fatima's like, I love Zach and I'm sure I love all his kids, but I just don't like the fact that he's not taking my feelings into consideration. And her and Danny are on the same page about that. Danny feels like Tony is not taking her feelings into consideration, so they both agree that they're gonna talk to each of them. Sabrina finally arrives for the date, and she tries to get Fatima to stay, but Fatima's like, I gotta leave. The date quickly turns into mommy and daddy daycare because Tony and Sabrina are sitting there talking about the kids, and Rich and Danny feel left out. To the point that Rich is like, Danny, how's your day going? And Danny's like, how's the juice bar going? I'm like, Sabrina, this is not the time for you to fantasize about kids. And Tony, this is not the time for you to talk about your kids. Sabrina's like, the date didn't go well. I guess not. You sat there talking about kids. But then they end up kissing at dates. And Danny's like, you gonna get some of that. Back over at Zach and Fatima apologizes for leaving Zach earlier. Fatima's like, oh, this is a lot. Karen sprung this news on us, and you didn't even take my feelings into consideration. Zach is like, you're right and my bad, but you shouldn't have walked out either. I thought we don't do that anymore. Fatima's like, I get that you're excited and all, but you don't even know if these twins are yours. Zach vows to take Fatima's feelings into consideration, and I'm just glad that they're talking and communicating better. Back over at Gary's office, Hudson comes in and he's like, how did it go with that billionaire lady? Gary's like, it didn't go so good. Hudson lets Gary know that he talks to his connects, and Gary is facing a whole bunch of charges against him. Gary's gonna be locked up and they won't let him out. Throw away the key. As they're talking, Gary is watching a news report about Jordan, and a headline comes across his screen that the girl that was accusing Jordan fabricated the whole story. Gary gets so mad that he slams his laptop. Hudson's like, what happened? I thought our connects were more solid. Over at Danny's, after the date, Tony and Danny get down to business, and I'm like, y'all always getting down to business. Back Back over in Gary's office, Gary's like, you know that plan we talked about? We gotta take her out. I wonder what plan they're trying to conjure up and who they're trying to take out, but if it's Penelope, they're a little too late because she's already working with Andy to get into a witness protection program. This is about to get really dirty really fast, and I wonder how Jordan's gonna feel about this when his sister goes missing. The first person that he's probably gonna accuse is Gary, but it might be Andy's fault. Let me know what you guys think about the episode. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on your bell notifications. Bye!